My name is Dike Chukwumerije, and my task this morning is a simple one. It is to introduce you all, guests and citizens alike, to this country hosting this convention, this country called Nigeria. I am a poet, so please indulge me. You see, Nigeria is not for the faint-hearted. How can it be when half the population is under the age of 19? You see, this country is full of young people. That is why our streets are full of loud voices. Do not fear. Area is a type of greeting here. Here, when a woman is overwhelmed with pride in her own child, she looks at him and says, "See your head like a papa head. Come off a road." That is how we are. The type of people you tap on the shoulder and we look up and say, "Witty." Do not be afraid. Just learn to begin the conversation with a plea. Should you find yourself lost and in need of direction, or wondering how to ask the caterer for an extra spoon of rice, do not be afraid. Just begin that conversation like this. "My brother, my sister, I beg no vex so." And you will see they will smile. Because that our aggression is surface. Beneath it all, we dey. Yes. How you dey? Huh? That's how we say, "Hi, I'm coming. I'm coming." That's how we say, "Bye." For here, we've taken the language of the colonizer and colonized it because English cannot carry Nigerian things without breaking. Yes, we speak broken, like, "How una dey?" Like, "Una don come?" Like, "Una welcome." Oh. Yes, we speak broken because English cannot carry heavy things without breaking. We are a heavy people, we full ground. Not the type of people who stand at the back waiting for your permission to step forward. No. Slavery and colonialism did not leave that inferiority complex here. Here, the African is proud. Here, the African is self-assured. Here, the African is confident. So confident that if you ask a Nigerian, "Can you do it?" before they know whether or not they know what the hell you're talking about, their instinct is to answer you immediately, "Yes, Oga, I fit do am." That is who we are. That is the spirit that animates this place. It is rooted in the very earth beneath our feet. Standing here in the shadow of the Chapalwadi Mountains, with our head in the Sahara Desert and our feet in the Atlantic Ocean, located at that very junction where North, West, and Central Africa meet, we are a meeting place. You see, 500 languages meet here. 250 tribes meet here. The only country in the world where Christianity and Islam meet as demographic equals, here, in the shadow of the Chapalwadi Mountains, with our head in the desert and our feet in the ocean, located at that very junction where North, West, and Central Africa meet, we have always been a meeting place. And a meeting place, a crossroad in traditional African spirituality, a meeting place, a crossroad is a magical place. That's where you go to pray your most effective prayers, because our ancestors believed that a unique and powerful spirit hovered over that junction where different human paths intersect. And what is that spirit? It is the spirit of the melting pot. It is the spirit of coming together. It is the spirit of unity in diversity. Even then, our people knew that wherever you find a place where people of diverse tribes and tongues and colors and backgrounds can rise above their differences and come together, that there you will find some of the most remarkable expressions of creativity possible to the human spirit. That is the spirit that animates this place. That is why this place, through history, has been the scene of some of the most remarkable events and accomplishments to come out of this region. You see, the news is misleading. that characterizes us only for corruption and terrorism. But here you are today, but an hour's drive away from the seat of the earliest known sophisticated civilization in all of sub-Saharan Africa, the Nok civilization. Here you are today, but an hour's flight away from the takeoff point of one of the greatest migrations in human history, the Bantu migration that spread the knowledge of farming and ironworking all across sub-Saharan Africa. Here you are today, but a few hours drive away from the Bronze Age civilization of Igbo-Ukwu, from the eternal capital of Kanem Borno, the seat of West Africa's oldest continuous kingdom. You see, the news is misleading. That characterizes us only for corruption and terrorism, but here you are today, but a few kilometers from the ancient walls of Sungbo, second in length only to the Great Wall of China. Here you are today, within short distance of the iconic Sokoto Caliphate, of the great Benin Empire, of the seats of the old Oyo Kingdom. Here you are today, within touching distance of the sacred groves of Oshun, that has since exported its formidable pantheon of Yoruba deities to such South American countries like Brazil and Colombia, where today Obatala is deity. Here you are today, but a short domestic flight away from the Atlantic ports of Badagry and Calabar, from which Africans were taken as slaves in such numbers that today the Nigerian DNA is one of the most prominent in the African American population. You see, this place has always imprinted itself on the world. Our relevance to the shaping of global culture did not begin with that familiar song. I know you know that song. Our relevance to the shaping of global culture did not begin with that song. Let me see you go, lo, 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 let me see you go, lo, lo, lo. No. Our capacity to be relevant to the shaping of global culture did not begin with Kiss Daniel and his famous song. It did not begin with Burna Boy and his Grammy. It did not begin with Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie and her TED Talk. It did not begin with J.J. Okocha and his football skills. It did not begin with Wole Soyinka and his Nobel Prize. It did not begin with Fela. It did not begin with Achebe. It did not begin with Aliko Dangote. It did not begin with Amina Mohammed at the UN, or with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala at the WTO, or with Olumuyiwa Bernard Aliyu at the ICAO. No. Our creative, entrepreneurial, pull yourself up from the ground spirit that has given the world Afrobeat and Nollywood and Naija Jollof. Our creative, entrepreneurial, pull yourself up from the ground spirit is as old as the ground beneath your feet. It is rooted in our very geography, the same geography that conspired to make us such a natural meeting place. I tell you, it is no accident that the same geographical space that incubated so many of the iconic kingdoms and peoples of ancient West Africa is today home to the biggest economy in Africa and the most populous black nation on the face of this planet. That is where you are. So as you meet here today, I want you to know that you are meeting in a place of history. As you meet here today, I want you to know that you are meeting in a place where nothing is impossible, where people do not take no for an answer, where a semi-literate man will lay bricks and his wife will sell akara by the side of the road from morning till night just so their children can go all the way to university. As you meet here today, I want you to know that you are meeting in a place where the spirit of solidarity runs deep, where soldiers have given their lives for freedom in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, in Congo, in Somalia, to ensure that no one is left behind on Africa's great march forward to progress. As you meet here today, I want you to know that you are meeting in a place where millions of young people born without opportunities seize poverty by the throat and convert it to revenue-generating industries, where they take hunger by the waist and transform it to movies, to comedy, to music, to art, where the hustle is real and people face adversity with this mentality that if the door is shut, we'll jump in through the window. If the window is closed, we'll break in through the roof. If the roof is sealed, we'll tunnel up through the ground, but anyhow, God must bless our hustle. I tell you, Nigeria is not for the faint-hearted. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, neither is aviation to make a living from herding people into a long, narrow metal tube and flying them like witches through the air around the world. This too is not for the faint-hearted. But here there is no room for errors. Here there is no room for cutting corners. Here there is no room for excuses. Here there is no room for security lapses. Here there is no room for accidents. And yet, if the whole world is itself to become a meeting place, if this incredible planet is itself to become a crossroad, if this beautiful earth that we all call home is itself to become a melting pot, then these planes, your planes, must continue to take off and land safely and in a sustainable manner every single day, so that East can meet West, so that global North can meet global South, so that the woman can be reunited with her lover, so that the young can pursue their dreams, so that the narrow-minded can go forth there by themselves and see that everywhere, underneath the differences in culture and language, that everywhere humanity is basically the same. For there is nowhere you will arrive at on this planet and fail to find love and hope and faith and fear and lust and greed, and that human struggle to rise above the baser aspects of our humanity, that eternal struggle to live our children better lives than we had. This is the power of travel, to familiarize the strange and bring us all to this recognition that when all is said and done, though oceans and mountains may separate us today, still, wherever you fly into on this planet, you will discover that there is but one race, and that is the human race. This is what you must keep in mind today as you negotiate, that I am not your enemy, that man or woman seated across from the negotiating table from you is not your enemy, that they are just like you, that their children need to eat too, that their aviation industry needs to grow too, that their country needs to develop too, that we belong to one global community, all of us, and that global community is seated on one flight. And in the end, it does not matter whether your country is seated in first class, business, or economy. A fire in any section of this plane will eventually bring us all crashing down. This is what you must keep in mind today as you negotiate. That fairness is the only type of sustainable fuel fit for this journey. That justice alone will provide the lift that this aircraft requires. That it is only equality, only equal access for all in bilateral and plurilateral and multilateral arrangements, only equal opportunities for all, regardless of race or region or religion. Only equality will keep the wings of this plane even, so that this critical global industry can continue to take off and land safely and in a sustainable manner every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a task before you today, and it is not for the faint-hearted. But then again, nothing worth doing ever is. Welcome to Nigeria. Area!
Someone said to me, if he had an invincible teleprompter, and I said, no, he's flowing from his spirit. That's the Nigerian spirit. Nothing they happen. Please celebrate him again.